a lot of people make the mistake of thinking that we have one purpose in life. And it's really a disease of this generation. If you ask your grandmother whether she ever suffered from wondering what her purpose was, you never ever hear about it. If you read literature that was written more than 50 years ago, fiction, novels, nonfiction, whatever, across the board, these questions of my life's purpose, they just didn't seem to really arise nearly as much. It's not that no one thought about it, but it wasn't the epidemic that it is today. Most of our grandparents, great-grandparents, they knew you're going to have a job and you're going to make money and you're going to have kids and you're going to take care of the kids and you're going to put food on the table and you're going to give to charity and you're going to be nice to the neighbors and you're going to be a good, loving, honest person in your own way. And that was really, in most cases, enough for people. Over the last really just couple decades, it's really been just like this generation and a little bit the generation before it, is this sense of there is something that is waiting for me and I'm not able to find it. My unique purpose, Dharma. And I cannot tell you the number of people today who are really suffering. More women than men, but men as well. So first of all, it's really important for her to understand purpose in life. First of all, we all have the same purpose in life, which is to wake up, to self-realize, to have God realization or self-realization or moksha or awakening or whatever word we use for it. That actually is the reason we all take birth. Beyond that, we all have different roles that we play in our life. As a child to our parents, as a parent to child, as a spouse to a spouse, as people in communities. And we have different roles and different dharmas. We have different purposes and dharmas at different times of our life. Student years, career years, golden years. Purpose changes. But through all of that, we also all have unique skills and gifts and inclinations and interests. The dilemma is in thinking that somehow, A, there's one purpose that she has, B, that it's going to pay the bills, C, that it's going to be something very, very specific and tangible and essentially is going to land in her lap if she just can figure out what it is. And these are all really big misconceptions. For some people, their dharma or purpose is really clear. Like you look at somebody like Gandhi or Martin Luther King or Florence Nightingale. It's like these are people who, clear one dharma, like this obviously is what you came onto earth for. But for most people, it's not quite so cut and dry that I'm going to essentially spend almost all of the waking moments of my life dedicated to one purpose that's going to consume me in thought, in action, in waking and sleeping, in all of that. For most of us, it isn't really like that. For most of us, that purpose really much more is to just express our different gifts in the ways that we can. To figure out what our unique skills, abilities, gifts, tendencies, characteristics, resources may be. we may end up with more than one purpose. And to utilize all of them. To be very aware that it's not going to necessarily pay the bills. That your career is not always your purpose. And to just move through each moment, essentially putting one foot in front of the other with as much awareness, presence, mindfulness, love, and surrender as you can. Because it's that surrender that allows our role in the universe to manifest. You know, I always joke that if the caterpillar were so wrapped up in its own mind that it wasn't fair because the millipede got 1,000 legs and he only got 100 legs, and why was he always getting the short end of the stick, and it's not fair, that caterpillar might actually miss the sign or the signal to climb the tree and weave the cocoon. And a lot of that happens with us. Our minds are so stuck that I think a lot of us actually miss that calling that comes when we are open and surrendered and available. Now, unfortunately, the dilemma is you mentioned that she's not really much on a spiritual path, which makes a lot of this more difficult for you to convey to her. But I would say gently and lovingly, to the very best of your ability, just offer some of these thoughts. Hey, maybe don't you think it's possible that? Hey, what do you think about this? You know, one of the things that she could do is just figure out as many ways as possible that she can be of service. To just let that be her purpose, to be of service. I mean, when we all think about our purpose, it's always service of some kind. We all want to be in service of some kind in some way, whether we think about it as being president of a nation or CEO of a top company or inventor of some big thing or whatever it may be. We always think of it in a way of service and helping. But to just be of service in whatever way she can. Small things. But they should be as constant and consistent during the day as possible. And what that will do is it will open her up to the calling of the universe. Because if you're going to be of service, you have to know what's needed. And in opening herself up to that, she may discover a deeper calling. Or she may discover that she loves just moving through her day, figuring out how many different people she can help in how many different ways. Because that in and of itself is a really beautiful purpose. It's why we're all here. To wake up and to be of service. Like, that's it. So if she's not on a spiritual path, so she's not working toward the wake-upness, at least let her work on the be of service part. And from your part, just model it, exemplify it, you be of service. You say to her, hey, I went to Rishikesh and I got this great idea. I was in satsang. I got this great idea. I'm going to just help as many people as I can every day. I'm going to just see how many different people I can help. And again, it may be little things. A kid may be crying in the grocery store and you just bend down and, tickle him or buy him the lollipop that he wants that his mom's not buying him or whatever it is. It's a whole different way of thinking about life. You start. And as you are glowing with that beautiful joy, maybe she'll join you.